friends. Welcome back to the Sunday morning spread from Cards of Light, Bright Blessings of the Tarot. Brian Noe with you on Easter Sunday morning. Happy Easter. Wanted to kind of begin with an acknowledgement that I know some people probably have qualms about messing around with tarot cards on Easter Sunday. I want to link out to a blog post that I wrote about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, at the Cards of Light weblog at it's at brightblessingstarot.com is the address. But if you Google for Cards of Light Tarot, you probably arrive there as well. But it's actually about Christianity and the tarot cards and how I don't have any qualms about that. I don't have any concerns about whether or not these cards can be used by faithful Christians, and in my case, faithful Catholic Christians. I think that it's the way that I use the cards is perfectly consistent with Catholic faith. So I will just refer to that for you to take a look at. If you get a chance to read it and you've got thoughts and would like to share them, I'd love to hear from you. Let's go to the table for our 4-card spread this morning. And as usual, we are looking at the 4 dimensions of life: the physical, social, emotional, mental, and spiritual dimensions of life here with these 4 cards. And we've got 2 majors, a court card and a pip card this week in our spread. We've got the 10 of Cups here in the physical dimension, the Queen of Swords in the social, emotional, the Tower in the mental dimension, and the Aeon in the spiritual. So let's take these one at a time. 10 of Cups. This is the card of in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I think of this as the card of They All Lived Happily Ever After. It's actually the card that appears on the opening slide in these videos for Cards of Light, with the family standing out on the hill looking up at the rainbow. Everything is just beautiful. And we have these cups also overflowing here, joyful, happy, comfortable times. In this deck, in the Book of Thoth deck, this card comes with a little bit of a caveat, though. And that is not that people are not happy, but the happily ever after is the part that we sort of get a little warning about. That in this material world, forever after kind of doesn't exist. And we have our ups and downs. And so if in the physical dimension of our lives right now things are comfy and cozy and happy, that's wonderful. Let's celebrate that. But let's remember that life is life and fun is fun, but it sure gets quiet when your goldfish dies. So there are things that come along that set us back sometimes, and we need to accept those as we accept the good things in our lives. In the context of the pandemic, this is something that I think as we began to move into a period of time when things were a little less tense, where we could gather together in groups a little bit more and worry a little bit less about masking and those sorts of things. There were people that were like, oh, well, yeah, but how long is this going to last? And I think this is the way we can approach that. Let's enjoy it while we can. It's been a long couple of years here. So, all right. Social emotional, we've got the Queen of Swords, and this is the card. This card's turned up a lot lately, it seems like. We've seen her before in these videos over the past few weeks. This is the card. This character is very quick-witted, very decisive, does not suffer fools lightly, processes information very, very quickly, and is very confident in her decisions because she usually makes really good decisions. And so when I see a court card, I tend to ask myself the question, what can I learn from this card? Can I emulate positive qualities in this card? Or can I look at some qualities of this character that I may not want to emulate in my life. So in this case, with the Queen of Swords, am I being decisive enough? Am I being too hasty in making decisions? Am I confident enough? Or am I maybe being a little bit overconfident and putting other people off by my being sure that I'm right? Those are the sorts of questions that I would ask myself. And following as it does here in the social emotional dimension of life, I think that that's a pretty good approach. To kind of keep a check on ourselves this week. Ask ourselves, are we moving forward appropriately with confidence and making good decisions as they need to be made, and yet kind of not overbearing with all of that, I guess, would be the way I would look at that. Okay, up in the mental dimension, we've got the Tower. And this is the card of the hard reboot. This is the Tower is tumbling here. We've got the Eye of Shiva at the top of the card. This card can be thought of as, an unexpected disaster of some sort. Something that really just resets your expectations about things. It can also be thought of, though, as just a sudden release of energy of some sort. Sometimes, particularly in the mental dimension, stuff comes at us that we were not ready for, and it throws us into disarray. And I think that coming in this position, in this spread, this card is kind of saying, hey, when that happens, if it happens this week, take it in stride. Take it as an opportunity to reset. Take it as an opportunity to, get grounded. Get back to earth. If your towers are tumbling, get back down to the ground and think things over a little bit, and realize that life is filled with things that are unexpected. We get over here to the spiritual realm, and we've got the Aeon. And this is the card that in other decks is called the Judgment, or the Final Judgment, or the Last Judgment sometimes. It is a card of reckoning. It is a card of taking stock in our lives, in the big picture type questions, taking stock of those. Also, hearing the trumpet call. Time to wake up, I think, is what that card usually says to me when it shows up. And so they're in the spiritual dimension. I think, again, that's good advice for this week. If we were to face some sort of reckoning, some sort of final judgment this week, have we got our ducks in order? Are we living the sort of life that we want to be living day in and day out? So maybe set aside a little bit of time to reflect on that question in the coming week, and it can't do us any harm. Overall, I think that these cards work well together in the spread. They're kind of giving us the same message. Let's wherever we are, whatever we're doing, whether we're facing unexpected things or happy times, or some sort of reckoning, let's be thoughtful. Let's be introspective about it, and let's do our best to try to live the sorts of life that we want to. I think that's the way I would read these. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If any of this spread is resonating with you somehow, if there's something about it that just jumps out at you, a message that you needed to hear, I'd love to hear from you on that. If you're a card reader and would approach these cards differently, or you're seeing something other than what I'm seeing, I'd love to hear that as well. Or if you've got just general questions about this practice, about this deck, about the tarot, any of that kind of stuff, give me a shout. You can either leave comments here with the video or pop out to the weblog at brightblessingstarot.com and leave comments there. I hope that you're enjoying Easter. I hope that you have a lovely day and a lovely week to come, that you are well and happy and safe, And until next time, we'll be back on Thursday for our 3 card Thursday. Until then, take care of yourself.